Home group is another expression for a dynamic small group. However, the content of this small group is so broad and varied. Today is the time to learn about the history of the form of the home group and how to manage home group activities through coaching. In a word, the history of the origin and growth of the Heavenly Parents' holy community is a very clear history of a trinity of three families expanding the marriage blessing. This is because since the holy wedding of true parents in 96, the blessing of three children was initiated and then hundreds of millions of couples were blessed. Therefore, the home group leading to the Chambo Family Church also expanded, starting with the home group of Trinity. True parents call this strategy to reproduce new cells. True mother also said for the 3 or 4 people to make a pair and start the Heavenly Travel Messiah activity. Okay, let's briefly look at the history of the Chambo Family Church. True Parents organized the first retreat in June 1958. In the 60s, fervent worship took place in the home. Based on this family experience, over 108,000 members were enrolled in Heavenly Korea in 1966. Based on this foundation, the Providence of Home Church began in the 1970s. In 1987, home church activities continued through grassroots education in each country and town. The Providence of the Travel Messiah was established in 1991. Hundoke was established in 1997 and the home church started to be called the Hundo Family Church. Home group was established in 2008. From October in 2020, families started to register as Chambo families and the term Chambo Family Church began. The Chambo Home Group became the root for building Chambo Family Church. The Chambo Family Church is a church including the Kain tribe and the Abel tribe of the Chambo members. Then what is Chambo Home Group? What is Chambo Home Group? The Chambo Home Group is a group that built the Chambo Family Church and at the same time is a model healthy Trinity cell organization for all blessed family to model after in order to become successful Heavenly Travel Messiahs and to register as Chambo. There is a witnessing home group that is the core activity of a home group. This is a witnessing home group that leads to multiplication through the cycle of Jeongsung, including from relationship, inviting, and harvesting through constant effort. However, there is also a leader school or an educational home group for divine principle education, 심정 education, and study of word. There is also a relationship home group for your family, witnessing activities, sport, or hobby sharing. There are also home group for family worship and reporting. However, if all home groups also want to multiply, they can do so if they share the goal of the home group operation through the three cycles together. In terms of home group operation, there are open and closed home group. Let's look at the core functions and the values of a home group. First, a home group is a community of family members. Second, witnessing and service take place within the home group. Third, great leaders are raised in a home group. Fourth, because home group are families, we are some mutual responsibilities for each other. And the fifth, raising church family members take place. What is the value of the home group? It has the value of the driving force engine for the construction of Chanilgo. The value of a training ground for participants and the training ground where new people come in and experience filial fight, 효정. In this way, a home group has functions and values like a small church. Then, what can be the providential meaning of expanding the home group? Firstly, because of continued witnessing activities and growth, all members of the Heavenly Parents' holy community will be accomplished as Heavenly Travel Messiahs. Secondly, we activate the vision of the Foundation of 12. Foundation of 12, which is the vision of Heavenly Parents. Centering on the Trinity, let's read the word of true parents that correspond to this. Families cannot be alone. Families cannot be alone. Families must organize the Trinity. That's the vertical credit. It symbolizes the number of heaven. The number of heaven is 3, and the number of earth is 4, representing east, west, north, and south. The same goes for the fourth season. If 3 and 4 are combined and developed, that makes 12. 12 members and 12 months. It is to become 12 tribes. Like this, the number 12 is important. Thirdly, as True Mother said at the celebration, it will become a witnessing-oriented church. Fourthly, a supportive relationship between the large group and the small group with an identity of high noon settlement will be established, and with the dynamics of vision. Like two wings, they will successfully form the Chambo Family Church. Now, you need to know how to manage to serving tribe members through these home groups. In conclusion, this best organizational management should be done through the voluntary coaching type leadership system. The Chanilguk organization is not general social organization. There must be a leadership of true love that can give the build up each other. In other words, it should not be general management organization, but an organization led by coaching leaders with Hyojung leadership who raise and serve others. In the diagram, the red part are the coaches. In this way, we need to build leaders who can coach our family members one-on-one centering on Trinities. There must be at least 3 coaches for 12 people or 12 families. This coaches home group to ensure their professional and successful operation. It is easy to become a coaching leader because the home group reporting session is operated in a coaching style. The red square in the picture of a number of coaches for 36 families, there should be a staff of 9 coaches. Heavenly Travel Messiah needs 9 coaches to settle down uh, uh, 43 families, and it is good to create a network among them. 36 or 43 families can be management organization that can also serve as coaching organization for 10 and 12 families, respectively. That is why 3 and 12, which is the basis of this, is important. Here, the Chamber Family Church is created through the home group. When a Trinity is multiplied into 12 families and 3 groups are formed, that makes 36 and 43 members and families, which will lead to forming the Chamber family in order to manage this structure. It is necessary to become an organization composed of coaching staff, managed with chamber coaching leadership. This will grow naturally and expand Chan-il Group. Now, from 36 to 43 families, a continuous expansion is taking place into medium group rather than small group. The medium-sized group is a combination of 3 chamber family churches. It has from 100 to 103 families. When this figure is settled in any village, it becomes a Harmony Village Family Federation. In this case, it becomes the basis for practicing leader school 1, 2, and 3 in the medium-sized group and exert a good experience impressed on the village community. This medium-sized group expand again by district, centering on the village. This condition is called the Family Federation Church. The Heavenly Village Family Federation should have a coaching staff of 10 to 12 coaches. These activities can grow into Hyojong Village through the leader school 1, 2, and 3 set up in the village. The Harmony Village movement of the Family Federation and the village movement of the existing government organization can create synergy and grow together. As expected, this organization also has a coaching staff of 10 to 12 coaches. Each coach will follow up the 10 families internally and externally. Thus, the Heavenly Travel Messiah organization becomes more mature. A large group is a combination of 3 medium-sized groups, and the medium-sized group unite in the village to become the Heavenly Family Federation Church. Through this, the Heavenly Village movement can take root. Together with the village community, we serve and the Heavenly Village movement can take root. Together with the village community, we serve and develop programs in our home and villages. Here too, the coach play a hub role. huge role. There are 36 to 43 coaches who help 403 families. Each helps 12 or 10 families. As such, the large size group, Heavenly Travel Messiah organization, centered on 430 families, can also be developed with coaching staff at the center. With this development, what should be the relationship between the large group and the home groups? In terms of identity, the position of the international headquarters, the continental headquarters, and the regional church should be in a high noon settlement position without any shadow. The home group, which is a small group, and the chamber family church or the regional church, which is a large group, should become one in heart to be united according to the will of true parents who are shining like the sun. The organizational healthy group and preventing a gap between the vertical relationship within the organizations due to the expansion of the horizontal groups. And when it comes to punctuality, you have to keep the relationship between the two. The large and small group become two wings. In order for a bird to fly wherever she wants to go, she would need to flap hard with both of his wings to go where she wants. If not, if the home group or a large group flap its wings for only themselves respectively, they will not be able to go where they want and will die of excess. Large group will have to fly in a balanced way by having undoubtedly large group worship and support small group with players, educational, human and psycho resources. What I have shared to so far has been about growing into a medium-sized and large-scale group, centering on the 20 home group. The organizational management of the increasing tribal members in the process of development is done by coaching leader, uh, organizational management of 10 families or 12 families each. Together with the multiplication of coaches, this is called home group church. But what will happen to a regional church or a church that has already formed a medium or large group? There are large size group churches in which home group is only partially providence home group education to change into a form of home group. Depending on which position you are in coaches, roles will be different. Okay, today I summarized how to manage your tribal members and the Heavenly Tribal Messiahs. For those who have completed 430 families or who are going through the process, the management of your tribal members will continue to grow only with the structure that can reproduce itself through the spread of coaching organization. This will allow Heavenly Travel Messiahs to create the Heavenly Travel without instructing or scorching their own tribes and to go forward. Thank you.